Greetings. Welcome to the session dealing with supporting the next generation of STEM professionals. We have several experts as a panel to share their experiences and their ideas. For our panelists, we have Yajra Patil, Ana Prieto, Sheikha Bouali, Laura Majestic, and Laura Alton. So this session is organized around a series of questions that I will ask the panelists. And the first question is, what aspects of GLOBE have you found to be the most powerful for sparking and supporting interest in the pursuit of STEM careers?
From software engineer to a scientist to then, a researcher, then towards the science diplomat, and coming towards the philosopher and writer, and now as a professor. It's a very big story that I have in this particular recent 5 years. So it's quite inspiring, and the most the heart-touching moment was to get the gold medal by the hands of Her Excellency Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. And that was the unique thing, because I was actually remembering all those things about the globe, how it has actually impacted my overall, the professional career. And currently I'm actually tuning with the youths in my local region to help get them on board with the globe program. And just like from bites to STEM diplomacy, we will see different impact stories from various perspectives.
Thank you so very much. We'll go to the next presenter here with Ana.
Hola, mi nombre es Ana. Hola, mi nombre es Ana Prieto. Hace 25 años inicié el programa GLOBE en la Patagonia. Desde entonces, cientos de estudiantes y docentes participaron en ciencia colaborativa, generando datos reales sobre su entorno y conectándose con el mundo. Lo que comenzó en una escuela rural se convirtió en un camino que hoy alcanza también la formación docente, las redes internacionales y la investigación sobre el estado de los ecosistemas. GLOBE nos permitió vincular la investigación escolar con la ciencia real. Nuestra primera experiencia fue en el CEI San Ignacio, una escuela agrotécnica rural. Allí comenzamos a estudiar el río Chemehuín, sus caudales, sus comunidades de macroinvertebrados. También investigamos impactos de incendios forestales y la caída de cenizas volcánicas, entre otros. Gracias a GLOBE, los estudiantes no solo aprendieron a investigar, sino que también a compartir datos con jóvenes de todo el mundo, participando en encuentros como las GLES y posicionando nuestra escuela en el mapa global. GLOBE nos enseñó a observar los cambios en el entorno. Por ejemplo, el impacto de las cenizas volcánicas, la transformación de los bosques o los cambios de caudales en el río. A partir de estos fenómenos, nuestros estudiantes desarrollaron proyectos que aportaron datos útiles para sus comunidades y fortalecieron su comprensión del ambiente y su rol como científicos ciudadanos. Como verán en este mapa, la participación de GLOBE fue el punto de partida para conectarnos con otras redes como EAR-ECO, ENO, Ashoka, y realizar proyectos con Japón, India, Estados Unidos, Uruguay y Perú, entre otros. Estas experiencias internacionales se construyeron desde la ciencia escolar y permitieron que nuestros jóvenes lideren, compartan y crezcan en una comunidad científica global.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Sheikha Bouali. I am the Chief Academic Officer at PA Virtual Charter School. I'm also a GLOBE alumni. I've been with GLOBE for around 24 years. And now we are currently a partner, and I'll let Laura introduce herself, and then we'll answer the first question.
Thanks, Dr. Sheikha. I'm Laura Majestic. I am the Director of Career Services at the same school where Sheikha is our Chief Academic Officer. And I'm responsible for ensuring that our students have access to structured career education K through 12. And we're implementing GLOBE through my role and also through curriculum as well.
So we kind of chose the approach of going by pictures. We think that pictures speak loudly than as we tell these stories and as we answer these questions. So as I mentioned, I've been part of Globe for about 24 years now. And similar to a lot of the different presentations you've seen or heard about, it's been a journey for a lot of us. What really sparked the ideal of like what that would look like in the future or the connection to STEM, it really is going back and looking at what those experiences were when I was a student in school. So this is my middle school and high school years. Um, and you can see here, not it was those connections, it was that hands-on learning, it was being able to grasp what that might look like. We feel that it's very important that when we're educating the next generation of scientists, that we're really looking at where does that start in those K-8 years, not just the college years, not just the last couple of years of high school, but what really draws it in is understanding what that might be like and imagining what kind of futures that might be like when you're actually living it, and experiencing it in those younger years. You're getting a taste of what those connections look like. You're going from local to international. You're understanding the bigger picture and the connections, not just what you're studying in a book in the classroom or what's just, simply in the curriculum, but you're actually getting to implement it. And we did a lot of that through that gathering of the data. We did that through, of course, back then it was the dial-up internet connection, and I still remember going to like our Ministry of Education, like they're them bringing us all together and having like this, and they would bring the scientists in, and we would talk to the scientists and ask them questions and make those connections, which again wouldn't have been possible without Globe, because Globe was what really bridged all of that. And so over time, even when I was doing my project, before I graduated, it was the support of the different scientists and the support of Globe and what really sparked in them that got all of that and really bridged that gap for us to have that inquiry. And it's also what had a lot of us thinking about what kind of careers we'd want to do in the future. What would that look like? What were those opportunities? And not just locally, but internationally. Laura, I'll let you add on to that, and then we'll go to the next slide.
Well, I can't follow you because you've been involved in this for so long, and I'm jealous because I wish I had gotten involved in it a lot sooner. But just a little bit about how we're structuring this within the career pathways. We know that STEM is a pathway that many students may not even think about, and especially in our virtual setting, K through 12, we wanted to come up with ways that our students could gain an interest and get involved. And so we developed a Globe program club. It's an extracurricular, and it is open for students K through 12. So we're seeing these protocols being completed, and the older students mentoring the younger students. And like Sheikha had said, that was something that was meaningful to her. And I've heard that kind of as a theme with folks working together and that mentoring aspect.
And what you see here as we talk about, the impact, is we're looking at generations growing up through Globe, starting in middle school or high school. It doesn't matter what country you start with Globe. It's transferable across the globe, and we see that as as you transition. We see that in terms of what that looked like. That like Globe was. I ended up doing my undergraduate project in GIS, and a lot of that was impacted by what I was learning in Globe and why I ended up looking into degrees that mirrored different parts of science. While I ended up in education, that was all things that I then took with me and transferred over the years. But that was also the turning point that like really provided that and outside of the classroom, and one of the reasons why, when we really looked at where Globe was going for the next generation, make sure it continued, and that was really the spark of the Globe alumni as well. So you can actually see the pictures of the first gathering of the Globe alumni back in 2006, when we really started to put that forward, because we wanted to make sure that it would still be there for the next generation and be able to support it, and that all of us, as we continued in our careers, regardless of what they were, and we're all in different pathways, that we could continue to support Globe and continue its mission across the globe and across all of the different things over time.
Thank you so much. We'll go to the next presentation by Laura Alton.
For this question, I would like to give a short overview of my Globe timeline. I have been in the Globe program for years, and I would like to consider myself as a next generation STEM professional. So I joined the program in 1996 as a student, and I conducted my first measurements in 1997, and it took 6 years before I had an opportunity to become an international presenter in the GLE in Croatia. But I spent 11 years in the Globe program as a student. In 2007, I graduated and I became Global alumni. And I was worried about my role a couple of years before becoming alumni. And as Sheikha said, you wanted to get along with the people, you wanted to do something together. So I became an alumni in 2007. But my first, as a STEM professional, my first experience was in 2008. And then was the time when I was assistant trainer for a real Globe trainer. So I created a new role for me. And I was kind of assisting and training and helping for years. But in 2015, I became a country coordinator in Estonia. But in 2015, when I became coordinator, I also got a really big responsibility and opportunity. We hosted Club Estonia regional learning expedition in Estonia. So there were 6 countries, almost 200 participants, and I got the coordinator, trainer, and big responsibility. So this was the point where I had the first opportunity to put together a team of next generation people. So I collected together a nice Global alumni, and we had event in Estonia, 6 countries, Global regional learning expedition. So as a STEM professional, but also event manager. And I had been in the Globe program for 20 years, and then I got my trainer certificate. And I also became a member of Globe Europe and Eurasia board. A couple of years later, I applied to become a member of technology working group, and I got accepted. And 2022, then I was already experienced the trainer, country coordinator, working group member. We hosted the next regional learning expedition in Estonia. And I can't confirm the year, but I became mentor trainer. And 2024, Lithuanian country coordinator invited me to host training in Lithuania as a mentor trainer. And in 2025, very much thanks to Larissa, I became a Global Diplomacy Fellow, and I attended the fellowship. So in my Globe timeline, I have had several roles where I have been STEM professional, but I have also created the bridges and opportunities for others to show how they can be in the Globe program as a STEM professional.
Thank you all for your wonderful presentations and sharing your experiences. So we'll move on to the second question. What models or strategies have you found effective in using Globe to engage the next generation of STEM professionals?
For that, I think the pictures speak for themselves. It's the continuous engagement. Yeah. It's being able to connect those, to keep those connections. It's those global connections. It's working through all of the different opportunities. It's collaborating. It's work, like whenever there were projects that would come up, being able to call on each other. It's created that network that no matter where you are in the world, no matter what you're doing, Globe has given all of those opportunities for those connections to happen, for you to work through it over time. and for there to be the support. And that means, like, if you decide to change your careers, if you decide that you're wondering what different things look like, you're looking, sometimes it was internships, apprenticeships, different things going on. A lot of the questions, the pictures you see here were either from the GLEs, where we helped, as Laura mentioned, help support and train. There were times we were called on, when there was translation needs, and we would translate or support in those aspects. We would help with the trainings. We would help with the organization. No matter what the opportunities were, it was establishing those connections and being able to nurture them and then provide those for the next generations, being able to be those role models that really show what that could look like and how that could support, and then translating that into our jobs and our careers as we got older. And again, you can see that continue, but a lot of even the research we did, it was those connections we established through Globe that we would come back to. We would compare what was going on, whether it was environmentally, whether it was in education, whether it was in scientists. It really bridged all of those gaps. And I think that that's why it was so important to always continue that. Laura, if you want to add to your perspective.
Absolutely. So from a programmatic perspective in our school, we're integrating Globe into our STEM career pathway programming and our extracurricular clubs, and we're using a hybrid structure wherein we're delivering virtual instruction paired with regional community-based opportunities for observation and data collection. And this is really meeting students where they are, kind of literally. Whether they're observing clouds in a rural neighborhood over farmland, or tracking surface temperature data in an urban city, they're contributing something meaningful. And we also connect the protocols to careers early and explicitly, because this is K-12. And so, again, through our Globe program extracurricular club, they're working on the NASA Globe Clouds project, learning how their observations relate to atmospheric science, remote sensing, and Earth system data careers. So it's a kind of integrated both within the curriculum and extracurricularly.
I'm on mute. Thank you so much. Moving on to Ana.
Ciencia Huechulafquen, con nuevas generaciones de estudiantes, continúa haciendo estas investigaciones. Seguimos trabajando con árboles urbanos, cuantificando el stock de carbono, monitoreando la calidad de agua, estudiando el impacto de eventos extremos y compartiendo los resultados en ferias de ciencias, encuentros científicos presenciales y virtuales, como el caso del IBSS. El espíritu de Globe está vivo y sigue creciendo. Como directora y profesora en la maestría en enseñanza de ciencias, integro Globe en la formación de formadores. Los pilares que aplicamos con estudiantes, como la observación, la obtención de datos reales, la acción comunitaria, también son claves en la preparación de futuros docentes. Globe es más que un programa, es una forma de enseñar con sentido.
Thank you. Laura, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, our model in this case has been focusing on growing together. Like Globe is lifelong virus, and we all grow and learn every day. And in Estonia, our strength in this case definitely has been that we have kept the door open and invited people back in their new roles, so they can use their skill and contribute at the level where they are today. And here are some nice examples, as I also like to use the pictures. The photo on the left contains 2 original Globe alumni in Estonia who are like 10 years older than me. And this is the case that when we want to grow a next generation of STEM professionals, we have to keep those people who are willing to be a part of the Globe. We have to keep them involved. And the people on the photo are really the first Globe alumni, the first country coordinator, and you have to think about young people, that those are younger than us, but you also have to think about and involve the people who were there in the beginning, and in their roles, their capacity, you need different generations. And on the photo on the right, you see that I'm wearing something with some pattern. There is a next generation of the GLOBE program. Globe Estonia received an award for science communication, and I took my 5 months-old kid with me to take the prize. So you have to involve those who are older than you. You have to learn from them, and you still have to expand the community by raising the community, creating new GLOBE people.
Well, when coming towards the model and strategy, these are some of the few highlights, like the 6 pillars that I found, in the recent journey of 5 years that started from 2020. Then in 2021, what I learned about was the inquiry-based learning, which was a very standardized globe protocol that Doreen Jenny and Brian Campbell actually helped me with my Himalayan expedition planning, which was about to set after the Globe Annual Meet in 2021 to Ladakh. So that is how I actually capture the high altitude, the observations, and it was the first globe high altitude observations. After that, the global engagement that actually Globe really foster, to connect with your peers and then contribute towards, on a joint research and different joint creative things that also I experienced with Miss Ramona Marciaga from Globe Malta, or a joint publication and the storytelling thing from Europe and Eurasia. Then peer-led global mentorship. It is something like students thrive in environments with guidance and leadership roles that Rusty Lowe actually gave the opportunity for NASA's peer, the STEM, sorry, NASA's SEAS Explorer internship program, where actually found, the peer lead as a peer mentor that was actually mentoring the NASA interns from very young generation. And it was quite interesting where the peer lead global mentorship actually came into this scenario. And I really appreciate about that particular opportunity. Then real world research is something take away from my own MTech research from my post graduation. And with the current SDG alignment and community bridge, it is something like currently I'm working as a professor in the local rural community, bridging the, making the gateway for the rural youths to connect with the international community and provide them the opportunity that very few in the remote region get. So with this particular concept, we came up with the idea of the Globe Lab pilot project, which is in the next slide. So it is something like having a dedicated space for the GLOBE program in the higher education institution, mostly those who are providing the undergraduation courses, post-graduation research centers, and PhDs. So HEIs is something very unique and very effective for playing a crucial role to bridge the gap between the school level or the primary schools level and the higher education level, where undergraduates will be actually working on the advanced data analytics and advanced research projects through particular dedicated space. So this was actually a catalyst for bringing the GLOBE program, promoting discovery, collaboration, and scientifically informed, environmentally responsible future for the youths. And this is how the Globe Lab pilot project for the first time we initiated at the SNJB's College of Engineering, where I'm actually working as a professor, and supporting the goals of quality education, sustainable cities and communities, climate action, and partnership for the goals. So this is something like, if you scan the QR code of the Padlet, you will be getting to know of various activities. And it's quite interesting because one of the young Globe undergrad researcher actually secured his internship in the Bosch company at Nasik in nearby city, just because of the Globe Lab pilot project, where he was actually working as a Python development and the Globe API project that was recently highlighted in Mr. Brian Campbell's NASA Trees Globe webinar. And it actually provided him to have the real world experience. He collected the data, he collected through the Globe Observer, and then using the dashboards and all those things, innovatively, he was actually working on that particular thing. So this is how it is actually bringing a new era of the Globe Lab that is actually tangible in the dedicated space. So if you see the approach that is actually going to empower the next gen STEM leaders of the Globe Lab, The focus is obviously on the globe protocol investigation, because it is like we are following a very standardized protocols, very precisely designed by the global leadership team. Then the approach is about the student-led project. They are actually having different projects getting on board with current HEI student and the international students. If we are actually making a partnership with the another university to work on the research project, just like the UT Tyler and the institute in the Argentina that Anna is actually leading, we have a very successful joint research project. What we saw. Outcome is something about the fostering inquiry, analysis, research all over the STEM research thing. Then coming towards the innovation and development, the HEIs can make avail the dashboard, take integration, again design new Earth observation tools that can be the part of the globe observation globe observer app, which will be actually working in very innovative manner. Then encouraging their creativity in the particular globe lab space. Sustainability and global citizenship is very essential in the current era, that we actually have to channelize our youths towards that particular thing. And Globe program is very effective in channelizing those things, even for the sustainable development goals. And through dedicated space for Globe, we are actually institutionalizing the lab infrastructure, open for the designing a cluster. So if one HI is actually hosting a Globe lab, it is forming a cluster, and it is actually inviting different Globe schools to use their own resources. And that is how we can actually have a very budget friendly dedicated space for the Globe and more effective implementation. And with the 1 year of Globe Lab pilot project, it is actually very recognized model for HEIs, because it actually gives institution for very nationalized accreditation thing, and also more broader approach for providing the continuity and visibility, and continuing the legacy of the Globe program. So this is something a Globe Lab life cycle. If any university, any organization has to be partnered with the Globe Lab, and we can create a very bigger chain reaction for HEIs, like higher education institution. From step one, from focusing on the scientific inquiry, then having the technological advancement, whatever the resources the current institution is having, they will be actually using it for enhancing the training for the Globe. And then for curriculum integration, whether it's for university credit course or environmental knowledge and all those things. And then providing a localized collaboration with the local schools, just like I said, a cluster kind of framework. And then for global networking through science diplomacy, we can foster the overall global citizenship. And through a sustainable development engagement, we will be actually having a joint UN SDGs research project, and then impact tracking. And the cycle continues on and on with each academic year in the higher education institution. And with these 4 pillars, we are actually able to have catalyzed Globe program in a more effective manner. That is how it will be helping with the strategies and the models that are very effective for the STEM professionals.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll go on to the third and last question. What lessons have you learned in your work that you would share with others using Globe to support students to explore and pursue STEM careers? So we will start with Laura.
Thank you. In this slide, I would like to introduce you my students. These 3 people are my students, and I consider it as my success story. On the first photo, you see Maria Johanna. Maria Johanna is my student, but she's also PhD student, young scientist, woman in STEM. She's a teacher. She's teaching teachers. So it's the biggest success to see that my student has become next generation STEM leader who can teach other teachers, who can support students and do the same thing that I have done. She's 10 years younger than me, and she's successful. In the middle photo, this is Pavel, also my student. Pavel has become a doctor. You can't do successful work when you're not healthy. And you see, he's holding equipment so he could give a CPR. So you need healthy people, but you have to have environmental awareness. Pavel is working as a doctor right now. And on the third photo is Elika. Elika is a scientist. She's a pure scientist in geology. So this is another success story that when you support students enough, they find their way. I am geographer. Maria is geographer. Pavel is doctor. Erika is geologist. In Estonia, it is told that geographers and geologists, they make fun of each other. So my student became a geologist. But it's definitely a way that you have to inject flow program into people. You have to give them knowledge so they will find their own paths and they become successful and they support the next generation. So I'm really thankful that I have had the opportunity to be teacher for these students.
Thank you so much.
Nuestro desafío es consolidar una red patagónica que conecte escuelas, universidades y comunidades. Queremos seguir formando ciudadanos críticos y comprometidos y que los datos generados por los estudiantes tengan valor en la toma de decisiones, porque educar también es cuidar el planeta. Muchas gracias. Les dejo mi contacto y quedo a disposición para responder preguntas o inquietudes que tengan.
Thank you so much. Yajra?
Yeah, so just like we discussed about the overall model and strategy, so lessons is something like the second part, like the pillars of the Globe Lab and STEM enhancement. So the overall learning points from the Globe was actually the educational empowerment. It's not just about the degrees. If I'm coming from engineering stream, I actually got transformed towards the earth sciences and then got into the STEM research and diplomacy and all those things. So it's something like it is actually empowering us all. Then global STEM engagement. Of course, I could see various comments and the the personal reach about the Globe Labs to replicate those things. So we are actually open for you in a very joint collaborations, and then we can have the Globe Lab replicated all around the world in the higher education institution and your respective organization. That will be helpful for our students to connect with each other and work on the joint research project. That will be another learning part from the collaborative STEM research and the data collection and STEM analysis. So it's something like the poetry part, because I couldn't thank more about, the words are less, so I could just express about the learning outcomes through the poetic part, because Globe has actually made me a very, a unique poet that actually I was actually writing up the books and those things, and also for the community poem contributing. It was very emotional thing. So it's something like compiling the all discussions into the single three stanzas, like the let science be touched, not just taught. Let questions lead more than answers sought. Give space, give tools, and step aside. Let students lead, let purpose guide. When data becomes more than numbers alone, when students feel the earth is their own, one sample, one sky, one global stream can awaken a career, a voice, a dream, that we saw all in the impact stories from the fellow panelists. So teach with the truth, mentor with grace, let globe become a timeless place where future scientists first take flight in labs of wonder, in fields of light. So this is something like compiling the overall lessons from the overall globe stream lab. And with the personal lessons, if you see, the research interests are very varying from covering all the aspects of the STEM, like the science, technology, engineering, art. Currently I'm adding the A for the art, and then in the mathematics. So it's like the overall lesson that for my personal region, from sustainable development, earth and climate sciences, then the technical field that currently I have my core belonging is global and science diplomacy, humanities and social sciences. Is something like evolving, and through the community engagement project, we are actually helping our communities to get on board with the globe and also with the environmental science. And with the Globe Lab pilot project is the end point of the final learning outcome. So thank you.
And lastly, Sheikha and Laura.
Thank you. Yes, I think I'll start from the career perspective here in my particular role, and also coming from a fully virtual K through 12 perspective. One major lesson that I've observed is that diversity of student geography and their own experiences is an absolute asset. I've seen Globe thrive when students bring their own local environments and all of their unique questions into the work. And so in a virtual school, we had to reimagine what hands-on science looks like. And that challenge led us to being more creative, more student-centered, and just devising ways that students can have these opportunities. And so our club advisors encourage students to choose protocols that align with their interests. So there's that element of agency, and then guide them in connecting those investigations into future opportunities. Maybe that would look like them taking STEM-related courses later on in their high school career or in university, and also, maybe considering some careers in those fields. So my advice to other leaders would be to embed Globe into the career-connected framework, and then use it as a bridge between science content and purpose-driven exploration. Go ahead, Sheikha.
So I'll take us home here. So what you also see here is years of work, right? And what you're seeing is a journey from a student to a teacher, or a science working group member to a partner here in the US now. And to take a step further, and you saw it in Laura's presentation as well, it's also our children now. So you're also seeing the next generation in our own children. You'll see a lot of the pictures here. Some of you guys might have been there 2 years ago. Two of my daughters were at were presenting with the students. So you see a lot of those pictures, they're embedded in it. And then we have our students too. Next slide, please. And then you have our students. And what Laura and I have learned is we start them as young as possible. We go back to the resources that Globe has provided, including the stories. Sometimes I think we need a reminder that we have so many things that we have access to and utilizing it. But the younger we start, the younger we are teaching them passion. We are teaching them the importance of the environment, that we are being the mentors for all of them so that they can grow and they can be the ones who take up all of the challenges. We are teaching them hope. We're teaching them to dream. And we're making all those connections starting from the youngest grades possible so that they can carry that with them. And I think for that, I have the utmost gratitude to Globe, because none of this would have been possible if not for Globe. I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I wouldn't have known about it. All of those connections is what makes it so important for all of our work to carry on and to carry on the next generation. All the way, I think the new term I heard is from K to Gray. So making sure that continues, because it is going to be so important for the next generation and the generations after that and all the work that we do. So that's my advice, is just be those mentors, be those individuals that keep pushing it, that keep pursuing it, and continue with that passion, that drive, that dedication, because none of us know what the future has as far as opportunities. So thank you all.
And thank all of you for your wonderful, inspirational presentations here and answering these questions. So, wow. Before opening up to the audience, I'd just like to ask one question amongst yourselves. And you now have been listening to each other about either your personal experiences or how you are implementing Globe and promoting STEM career pathways. What do you think is in common in themes across these 4 different presentations? So in your strategy and how you inspire students to continue in STEM careers, what are some common themes, would you say? Sheikha.
Sure. So I think one of the common themes is the continuous collaboration and networking through the different generations. So I think we heard it was Laura talking about bringing back the original, like the country coordinators alumni was, the mentors. I think the mentors has been key to all of us have had different mentors. Becky, you've been one of mine for over 20 years. But I think that, having those and looking at what those mentors have done for all of us to continue to inspire and support us. And then I think us trying to be those mentors too, trying to bring that next generation.
The collaborative project is very important for motivate the student to work in the globe and use the data and learning and make the genuine project, the research project. Very important, and working collaborative with other countries, have a lot communication in different language, have a lot skills. It's very important, the globe in general, the platform for continued student.
Thank you so much. Let me take a few questions that are in the chat and on the Padlet. What's your experience with parent-child participation in preschool globe?
I have 3 preschool kids, yeah. But
Yes.
yeah, I would say that as a parent, and it's definitely we learn from them. We have so many skills, but I feel that we grow with our preschool kids, and also in Estonia, different teachers have taken their kids with them to participate in the GLOW program, and we see that they see and experience the world in different way, and they can teach us how to ask questions in today's mode. We have learned something else. We have grown up in different environment, but definitely the kids nowadays, they raise different questions. We see the nature, they see the processes, but together we grow together with the kids, and really their questions are so different. They have the interest, and we as adults and parents, we have to find ways how to teach them, how to engage them, how to encourage them to ask more and more and more and more questions, not to silence the questions, but even if you don't know how to answer, just please let them ask, even stupid ones or the smart ones.
Well, as educators, we say there are no stupid questions, right? So let me just read some of the comments in the Padlet here. Thank you, Anna, for always being unstoppable and see a way to touch and lead all our hearts. That is from Bo. And another comment from Bo is to Sheikha and Laura. Very exciting that you are so global and support self-expression in dress and voice and in STEM. So some lovely comments here from the participants. And in the chat, there's been ongoing discussion too, very inspired by all of your presentations here.